Welcome to News from Down Home, where I discuss news from Princess Anne, Maryland, the seat of Somerset County. And some of you might know it on the way to Ocean City when you go to the beach. But it is a town of tremendous historic significance with a lot of history around it still. And I'm going to read from the Marylander and Herald, which is the paper of record until the 1980s. And we're talking about events in May 23rd, 1916. Now, I want to emphasize that this is these people's um, time of like Facebook and Instagram. This is where they post the things that are interesting, personal things that are interesting to them about visits and stuff like that. But today I want to talk about some business pointers they have listed. Um, that some things that I think interested. Look where they wanted man to shear flock of sheep with clippers. Charles C. Gelder, Princess Anne, Maryland. By the way, this is, if I didn't say it, it's May 23rd, 1916. And then for sale, two touring cars, a Buick and a Ford, 1915 models. Look those up. Look up those images. H.J. Muir, Princess Anne, Maryland. Now there was an 80-acre farm for sale in the Fairmont district. Robert F. Maddox of Princess Anne. For sale, 400 bushels of seed cow peas and 4,000 baskets of corn. E.J. Newton of Princess Anne. For now, alfalfa hay was being harvested. It was going to pay, somebody was going to pay $15 per ton to haul it from their fields directly. Um, so there was just some interesting things that I thought were interesting because of the time and the era that this was being done. But also some visits. I hope if you know these people or know their descendants, you'll let me know what you know about them. Miss Shirley DeShiel of Cambridge, Maryland, is visiting Miss Marion Stanford on Prince William Street. The Ladies' Card Club was entertained last Thursday evening by Mrs. Robert F. Dewar on Main Street. Miss Nanny Furness spent a few days last week with the family of Mr. William F. Todd on Beckford Avenue. And Mr. and Mrs. Vernon Marvel of Laurel, Delaware, spent the weekend with Mrs. Marvel's sister, Mrs. Paul A. Walker. Now, Superintendent of Schools W.H. DeShiel, I think he runs the newspaper as well, and Mrs. DeShiel spent the latter part of the week in Baltimore. They returned home Saturday night. And marriage licenses were divided in the paper between white and colored. That's what they called African American and black people. One example, Dulana, this is the white section. Dulana Meredith and Lena M. French, both of Somerset County. James Summers and Mary L. Walker, both of Somerset County. Henry P. Lewis and Susie M. Carpenter, both of Carrollton, Virginia. And then the colored, it says Nathaniel Lane and Louise Spence, both of Somerset County. So let's go on to an important building in Somerset County, Maryland. This is the Quindocqua United Methodist Church. It's an historic United Methodist church located at Marion. Now it's a single story, roughly cruciform frame building resting on a raised foundation of common brick erected in 1913. Now, it's one of 13 rural white Methodist churches in Somerset County listed on the Maryland Inventory of Historic Properties. 6 churches in this group have been listed in the National Register individually or as contributing resources in historic districts. Quindocqua Church is distinguished among the churches in this group by its high degree of integrity. It's undergone exceptionally few exterior or interior modifications since it was originally constructed. The sanctuary is an especially well-preserved example of early 20th century church design with a ramp floor, semicircular seating, pressed metal ceiling, and period lighting fixtures. Now, due to the dwindling nature of the congregation and a general respect for the historic church by remaining members, Quindocqua Church has not suffered modern alterations in the form of large additions or false ceilings experienced by other churches. Now, the 1913 Quindocqua Church represents an historical pattern of building replacement which characterized many congregations in the Lower Eastern Shore region. The 1913 church, the third structure to house the congregation, was built in order to accommodate an enlarged membership which had grown along with the general population of southern Somerset County during the period from 1870 to 1910. So we'll stop there. I hope that you enjoy this. I'm uncovering a lot about Somerset County history. I'm reading Old Somerset by Clayton Torrance and starting in the 1600s and moving forward. And I lived on Revel's Neck Road and Stewart's Neck Road, and there just a amazing amount of history underneath the ground. I can just imagine. I just was never taught about it when I was a child, which is a shame. Look at the history of where you live, where you are. Look at the history there. are you taught about? Do you know who walked places you walk? Who had happiness and joy and sorrow and grief in the places where you live? And take a look. Take a look at your history. Thank you for watching this.